Hello,
Hello, Aarna. Nice to meet you. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you for asking. And you?
I'm also okay, thank you. I'm very happy to see you today, and I'm really glad that we finally managed to organize this meeting, that we finally find the time. Uh,
I'm also really happy to talk to you. So it's our first meeting show. So shall we introduce ourselves?
yes, of course. Could you tell me a
Would
little?
you like would would you like to start?
No, go ahead. Please introduce yourself and tell me a little bit more about yourself, about your hobbies, about the activities that you like, that you enjoy, about the things that you like doing. I'd like to know about you a little bit more. You're such an amazing.
Okay, so I'll introduce myself. So my name is Aarna Shukla. I'm 8 years old. I live in the state of Madhya Pradesh in the country of India. It's in the South Asia. And if you want to ask about my hobbies, I love to learn new languages, dancing, singing, and lots of other things. And I study in a public school. And I'm in fourth. This is all about me.
I see. It's nice. So you learn some other languages apart from English, yeah?
Yes, I did.
What other languages do you learn and why?
Well, I learned Spanish and a little bit of Chinese and French too.
It's great. Do you like these languages?
Yes, I do like them. They're also very easy to learn.
That's just great. I think that many people would like to learn languages so easily as you do. You're just an amazing girl. So, okay, let me briefly introduce myself. My name is Kate.
Okay.
I'm from Ukraine. I am a civil servant. I'm a financier by profession with more than 10 years of experience, but now I'm on my maternity leave. I'm taking care of my two little kids. I have two little kids. They are 6 and 3 years old. Uh, I have a son and a daughter. Their name is Matthew and Mary. Well, so now I'm on maternity leave and I'm looking after my kids. I'm taking care of my kids. So I'm not working now. That's why I decided to not to waste this time and learn English because this is my passion also. Uh, I studied it at school, but it was not enough for me, and I decided I have had some basic knowledge of English, but then I decided that I need to become fluent in English. So while I am on my maternity leave, I'm learning English actively and passionately. So yeah, this is my little story, but still I understand that is a lot of work ahead. There is a lot of things to work on, to learn, and to study. So that's why I'm into learning English as well. So as I can see that you are very passionate about learning English, right? So could you tell me, please?
Yeah.
Could you tell me, please, how come that you are so passionate about English at such an early age? Could you tell me, please, a little bit more about your English learning journey? Do you remember that very moment when everything started for you, that when you got interested in learning languages, particularly in learning English? Do you remember that spark of motivation for you? Could you share with me, please?
Wow, I think you're really excited to know from me. So okay, I'll tell you. So it all started when I was 3 years old, and it started from a poem. I sang a poem at school. I sang it in Hindi, and it also looked like I was singing with an accent too. And my principal noticed that. So in the pre-term, she asked my parents, "Do you speak in a British accent with her?" When she sang the poem, she sang it in Hindi and this accent. My parents became so happy. They started to teach me English and the accent I was learning. So I'll tell you about that later with the accent. But they don't know English at all. They're from a Hindi medium school, but still they want to motivate me. So they watch English videos, make notes, and use them to teach me. And they don't let me speak in English. I mean, they don't let me speak in Hindi until I become 6. When I became 6 years old, now my parents were in a big tension. They were thinking, now how can we teach her Hindi? What if you had to give her admission in a Hindi coaching? So they taught me Hindi and English, and this is the end of my journey.
Such an amazing story. That's just great. You know, I'm really interested in your learning learning journey because I have 2 little kids, and I'd like to know how to instill in them love for learning English, and what is the best way to do this, you know? As I can see that your parents did a lot and still do a lot for you to know English and learn, you know, this language. So please tell me, what is your favorite activities, learning activities? What is your learning routine? How do you learn English now?
I would usually do it by shadowing, or I would watch English movies, cartoons, and English songs for this. It's it's entertaining and educational for me.
Yes, I agree. It's a great method when you are interested in the content that you are consuming, right? It shouldn't be boring for you. It's great when it's enjoying. Yeah, it's a great method. It's like natural learning when you learn and enjoy what you learn actually. It's a great point. Uh,
So so do you, so so I also have some questions, a
Yeah,
lot
of
of
course.
them about train.
Okay, go ahead. What is your
So actually, I'm a foodie. I love eating foods. That's why I always ask. So when I talk to foreign people or any other people from my country, I would ask them what are the famous foods in their place. So what are the famous foods in your country?
Oh, you know, I really like to eat something really tasty, but for me, I'm not really picky, so to speak. I can eat everything. For me, I consume a lot of vegetables. It's really healthy. But speaking of our national dish, for example, in Ukraine, it's called borscht. It's like soup. It's like vegetable soup. It contains many different vegetables, but the main ingredient here is um, root beet. It gives this soup such a red color, and it's really something amazing and very unique. It's like a national dish of my country, and I like this soup. My family likes this soup, but to tell the truth, I don't often cook it because it's very time consuming. It takes a lot of time to prepare this kind of soup. That's why we eat everything we make. And what about you? What is your favorite food? What's the national dish of your country?
The national dishes of our country, well, we eat vegetables because lots of people in India are vegetarians, and maybe some of them are non-veg too. Because my class, the some ones did non-veg, and also and we eat lots of vegetables. Sometimes we eat chapati with cooked vegetable. Chapati is where we roll the dough and then we cook it in a frying pan. And vegetables, we just cut them and just put it and with some masalas with it too. It's really tasty. And also we eat pulses with rice. We just mix the pulses with rice and then we eat it. It's really delicious and lots of people eat them in their daily routine.
I see. By the way, do you like to cook? Do you actually cook? Does your mother allow you to cook? Or maybe you help her to cook and make dinner, for example?
It's a great question because I do help my mother to cook. Whenever she makes dinner, I always help her in cooking, in breakfast and lunch, and also in dinner.
I see. And what are your tasks? What do you usually do? Maybe you peel vegetables or something. What is your task that you are responsible for example?
Well, whenever we make chapati with cooked vegetables, I'm all in the help because in this task I just have to roll the dough with the rolling pin and then pass it to my mother, and then my mother cuts it. Well,
Oh,
the vegetables she just keeps it peeled and cutted.
I see. It's interesting. You are a little helper for your mother. It's just amazing, just great. Okay, may I ask you something? Do you have siblings? Do you have someone to speak English with? Or maybe your friends speak English too, so that you can practice with them, practice English with them. Do you have anyone in your physical environment to practice English?
Well, actually, there's no one in my family to practice English with. That's why I had to practice English with myself. But lucky because I have a younger brother. He's 4 years and 4 months younger to me. I'm 9 years. He's 4 years. He's about to turn 5 in August,
Nice.
and his name is Arihan Shukla. And he's very naughty, but a little bit nice too. He also knows English a little bit. That's why he always calls me sister instead of Didi.
I see, it's interesting. Um, that's great, because as for me, I also learn English mostly on my own because there's no one in my physical environment to speak English with, and my job does not require me to know English well. Actually, I don't have to know English for my work. So for me now, it's a good decision to talk to my kids in English. They are 6 and 3 years old. So, and now I see that they are very interested in learning, and I find it really beneficial for me and for them because I see how they pick up the language, how they learn new words, very simple words, very simple sentences, but still I see the progress, and that is just amazing. Who do you like to become in future, and how do you plan to connect your future life with English?
Well, in the English, for me, I would like to become the person who knows best English than anyone. And for the career and the job, I would like to become an astronaut.
Oh, it's such unexpected decision, I would say, but why?
Well, I would like to become an astronaut.
Yeah, but why? Do you like this? I don't know, this.
Yes, I like it. I would like to, so I will get to travel to space. I will get to discover new things about space and planets too.
That's just amazing. I don't even know who would answer such in this way. For me, it's like um, boys can say that they would love to become astronauts, but what about girls? Anyways, it sounds great. I believe you'll be able to achieve your goals if you put your mind to it.
Yeah, that's really cool. I also have some questions. A lot of them the Ukraine.
Okay. I'm all ears. Go ahead.
Okay, so how is the education system in Ukraine like?
Oh, speaking of education system in Ukraine, and speaking of my experience, I can say that we face educational problems, unfortunately, because when I was a child and when I started learning English when I was at my 5th grade, for example, we started learning English. I started when I was at 5th grades. We didn't have English teachers at all, you know. It was a problem for us. It was educational problem, and I believe it was educational problem not only in my country. It's something that all the maybe not all the countries, but most of them face all over the world when it comes to learning foreign languages. Because back in my school years, we didn't have English teachers. For example, my English teacher was my teacher of math, who took a 3-month course of English, and he started to teach students English just because we didn't have other teachers at our school. So you can imagine the quality of that education that we could get from the teacher, unfortunately, and it was a problem. Students had to learn a lot on their own. I remember myself, I would learn many things on my own. Okay, do you have any more questions for me?
Yes, a lot of them to ask you, of course.
Yeah.
People are really curious about foreign people, of course.
So maybe you'll share some famous names, famous personalities of your country. Maybe I will remember them. Who are they?
First, I would like to ask you something.
Okay.
What do you know about my country, which is India?
Oh, I know that your country is quite big. Yeah.
Yes. And its location?
Asia.
In the South Asia.
Okay.
Yes, that's right.
Okay. Well, you know, when I was a student, when I was at school, I really liked the geography, you know, and exactly that period when we studied different countries. And I do remember that I used to learn lots of interesting facts and informations about different countries. But with the pass of time, I forgot almost everything. So it's a great idea that I met you here so that you can refresh my memory. Tell me something a little bit about your country. What is something special about India that you would like to share, and you would like that everyone know about your country?
Okay, so India is a very big country. It's shaped like a person, of course. It's in the South Asia, and it's a really great country. Its culture is very beautiful. The people and its traditional clothes is sari. It's a long dress that covers a shoulder. And I already told you, lots of people are non-veg, and we eat cooked vegetables with chapatis and rice with pulses and all. And the same with monuments are Taj Mahal, Mahal, and India Gate, Red Fort, Ranthambore National Park, and it's independent by the Britons. And it's celebrated on 15th August and Republic Day on 26th January.
That's great. Thank you for this beautiful geography lesson for me. I was able to refresh my memory, and of course, I know these facts about your country, and yeah, it brought me back to my school memories when we actually learned all these things. And I watched this on TV. I know that your culture is really rich. I know about this special cloth, your national clothes that you wear. Yeah, that's great. Okay, if you have no any questions for me, I think time flies and we should wrap up our conversation because I have to pick up my kids from the playground, you know. And yeah, I have to thank you. I have to thank you for having me on your interview. And I have to say that it was just amazing. You did a great interview. I enjoyed sharing my time with you. And hopefully to see you next time. You are just amazing little girl. You are very smart. I believe that future holds all the best for you. Thank you so much for taking your time and being with me. It was a great time, amazing interview with you.
And I also really enjoyed this conversation. I also got to know more things about your country and about to yourself. I really like this conversation. I hope we meet again some other day.
Yeah, I hope so. I also hope that we'll meet later and we will have another conversation. As you remember, we were talking about time and being with me. It was a great time, amazing interview with you.
And I also really enjoyed this conversation. I also got to know more things about your country and about to yourself. I really like this conversation. I hope we meet again some other day.
Yeah, I hope so. I also hope that we'll meet later and we will have another conversation. As you remember, we were talking about discussing idioms, for example. The topic of idiom is really interesting and it's important topic. I believe that it will be great if we discuss this topic, yes, one day in future. So yeah. I think
So in our conversation, I like to learn new languages. I've heard that in Ukraine, the languages are Ukrainian, and some people speak a little bit of Russian. So you can teach me that to languages in our next session.
Okay, I'll teach you some words as well as I would like you to teach me some Spanish because I like this language and I think about learning Spanish in future and it would be great to pick up some vocabulary from you.
Yes, that will be really great.
So thank you so much for this amazing conversation. You are doing a great job. Just keep it up. And everything will turn out for the best for you in future. I believe it.
Okay.
Thank you and see you soon. Bye bye.
Bye. Bye. See you again.
Bye bye.